Hello and welcome to our webinar on charitable giving featuring Lisa Jolley from the Columbus Foundation. My name is Eric Danielson. I'm the Communications and Client Services Administrator for AFP. We have recorded this webinar and we will record future webinars as well and post them on our website. So if you have any suggestions for future webinars or ideas that you want to share with us, you can shoot us an email or give us a call and we'll be happy to incorporate those going forward. So I will hand things off to Terry and Lisa.
Great. Thank you, Eric. And Lisa, it's so great to have you here. I know that this is kind of a top of mind topic at this particular time of year. Obviously, it sounds like you guys are pretty darn busy right now. So we really, truly appreciate you taking the time to kind of explain a little bit more about charitable giving and ways that people can give at this particular point. Encompassing the Columbus Foundation and different things that the Columbus Foundation does. So we call this Welcome to E3 Financial Fridays because our purpose here is to educate, explain, and explore different topics. And so we'll kind of dive right into the charitable giving topic for this month.
So thank you again, Terry, for allowing me to be a part of this. At the Columbus Foundation and anywhere, if you are interested in giving a gift, a charitable gift, you can do this both during your lifetime and or your time of death through your estate plans. So you have various options, and it can be a gift outright to nonprofits, a gift to a community foundation, which we'll talk a little bit about, and then we'll go from there. So outright gifts. There are some great benefits. First, they're simple, they're immediate. They can offer a tax deduction, and you can give cash or appreciated stock, which will be the better option for anybody interested in giving. Appreciated stock is the number one way to go, and it avoids capital gains. Another option is something that's been in place for a few years now called the Qualified Charitable Distribution. And if you are 70 and a half, so it's actually 76 months plus a day, then you can use up to $100,000 per individual. So that would be $200,000 for a married couple. And you can give it to any qualified charity instead of taking it first in as income and then making the gift out to the charity. You can make this gift directly to the charity and avoid that income. You don't get a charitable deduction for making this. There are some rules about this. It can go to a qualified charity, but it cannot be used for a donor advised fund. So we can talk about that in a second. But it's a really great avenue for those that aren't using their RMDs and they want to be charitable with it.
Yeah, and we do find, Lisa, that a lot of people don't recognize that this adds also into people's taxable income. So if they're trying to stay under the threshold for Medicare premiums, this is a way to also reduce that and be able to do that.
Right.
People are really getting hit with that now because those premiums surcharges have really gone up for people. So I think that's a really great way to do it if people can do it. And then also when people get their 1099s, we also know that the QCDs are not listed on there. So we provide a form for CPAs or tax preparers to recognize that they have to deduct that from the amount that came out as their RMD if they didn't use all their RMD as a QCD. So it's a little tricky, I think, for individuals right now, but it's a great way to give money to charity.
Great tool, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about the Columbus Foundation and how we can help you at the Columbus Foundation. The first thing I would say is, one, we've been in business since 1943. So we have a lot of expertise in what the community needs are and also what donors might be interested in. We research all the nonprofits. So we offer a really great option for those that want to give through the Columbus Foundation to the charities of their choice. What we found is most people don't give to just one charity. They give to multiple charities. It could be their church, their school, and many other things. And so if they set up a fund at the Columbus Foundation, We call it the charitable checkbook or donor advised fund. It takes $10,000. They get the immediate receipt of a charitable deduction for that full $10,000. And then they get the gift of time to make charitable gifts out of their fund to the charities they want to support whenever they wish.
So they don't have to make that decision right on the spot, but they get the deduction for the year because they've made it before the end of the year.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
So it just tells you a little bit more about the foundation, some pictures of things that we've been involved with. We have many different types of funds, and actually I think we're up to about 3,000 different donor advised funds that we work with, and we work with individuals, families, businesses, and communities. So we have something for everybody.
Sounds great.
A little bit about our mission, and if you think about it, we're just here to help you with your charitable giving, making sure it's the most efficient and effective that you can be, no matter what you wish to support anywhere in the world. So a lot of people have a misconception that Columbus Foundation only supports local organizations, and that is so not true. We have international organizations. We have clients from all over the world that give through us. So you don't have to have any connection with the Columbus Foundation or the Columbus area to give through the Columbus Foundation.
And Lisa, you guys have also ferreted these charitable organizations out. So you're kind of doing the legwork or the dirty work for people that are really wanting to give money.
Right. And we're going to alert any donor that gives to an organization that has issues going on, or if they didn't file for their proper documents with the IRS, or there's some scandal, unfortunately, within the nonprofit. We do our due diligence so you don't have to.
Okay, sounds great.
Again, just more pictures of some of the organizations that we have supported through our donors and our unrestricted giving. So lots of great organizations have been served.
A lot of variety.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. So there's a few different ways that you can give to the Columbus Foundation. Some involve having an attorney draft up the documents, and others involve a simple contract. So I wanted to talk about those. Charitable gift annuities. These are a great vehicle for those that are 60 years or older. It's a simple contract that is between you and the Columbus Foundation. And we ask that you make a gift of property, whatever it might be. It could be appreciated stock, it could be cash, it could be real estate, whatever that gift is. We put it into what we call a gift annuity. And then you immediately get a part of that as a tax deduction. And at your death, during your lifetime, it's going to pay back to you or you and your spouse, your significant other, a set income for life. And then at your death, anything remaining in that annuity will be passed on to either your donor advised fund or immediately to the charities of your choice. So this is very simple, doesn't involve an attorney on the outside to draft these documents. It can be done immediately, and it's got great benefits for those that are interested in those.
So you would put this in the category of the contract, in other words.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charitable remainder trust. Again, this is going to involve an attorney, some estate planning. It's going to provide income tax benefits. It's also going to give you assets directly to directly to you until your death. Then the remainder goes to this charitable remainder trust, and then it goes to charity. So there is a deduction, usually annually, based on the amount that you're receiving annually back from this trust. And then at your death, there will be a gift remaining. And these are all going to be invested. This is not money that just sits in a bowl somewhere. This is money that's going to be invested. So the idea is that it will grow, and over time, maybe the original gift that you gave in to create this is twice as big that's going to come out to charity, even though you received money each year. So a great vehicle in the right time. So,
Okay.
And this is a little bit of the opposite way. Again, involves an attorney. You transfer assets into this charitable lead trust. Then the income goes immediately to the charities. And this is used as an estate plan for those that want to give money to the next generation. So it goes immediately to the charities, and then whatever's left after the death of the or the end of the lead trust, could be years, could be a life, it goes to your beneficiaries. So it's kind of the opposite of what you've just seen through the gift annuities and the charitable remainder trust. The charities benefit immediately, and your family is benefited later. So, but again, a great vehicle, something you should talk to your financial planners as well as your attorneys about, is this a good thing for you?
So Lisa, on this and on the remainder, can you speak a little bit to, given the fact that interest rates have moved up, one is more favorable than the other related to lower interest rates or higher interest rates?
Yeah, so it really depends. You know, we have not seen, I've been at the foundation 24 years. We have not really seen any lead trusts in a long time. So I think that's related directly to the interest rates. But the remainder trust, I do think there are a number of those still out there. Some of them we won't know about because they're part of a plan, and we won't see the money until later. And annuities, we will know about it. And those are very popular. A lot of people set charitable gift annuities up annually. So if they set it up at 60, they put in, like, say, $10,000, and it pays them an income each year. And at 65, they're like, you know what? I'm going to get a larger amount back to me. So I'm going to set a second one up, and it's going to pay, to me a little bit bigger. And then maybe some at 70. It's funny how these work. These are a slippery slope. People love to have those. And as they age, they receive more money back. So.
Right.
Again, working with the community foundations, there's community foundations all over the world, and their job is really to help people with their charitable giving. So we educate our donors, our professional advisors about what's happening in the community, what the needs of the nonprofits are, and we're just a vehicle. We're kind of a means to an end, if you will. As I mentioned earlier, you receive a charitable tax receipt when you make a gift into the Columbus Foundation. So it doesn't take, in fact, that you have to count how many grants or wait till you make the grants to get the gift receipt. No, you get it immediately. And the benefit of this can be that you don't have to go to all the nonprofits you've supported during the year and collect those charitable gift receipts. And so you can do your taxes. We will give you that immediately. You can also view it online on your donor portfolio portrait on our website as well. So it's protected by a password. We do research on nonprofits. We do white papers. We invest a lot of time and energy getting to know what's going on in the community, who's serving that community the best. For example, if it's educating children, working with basic needs, how many folks do they serve? What is the cost to serving these people? Who's running the organization? All those things are going to be taken into fact, their budget, all those things, before we lift those up to our donors and say, we support these types of organizations. And if you're interested, this might be something you can support. But what the Columbus Foundation does not do is require you to pay to any particular nonprofit at any time. It is always your choice. So you make that choice when you're ready and to support the charities that you want to do.
So
And when
Lisa, on one charity, and I think in talking to you in the past, is there one that is one for every day of the year, and it's kind of in Columbus?
Right. So that's a unique fund. It's called the Gift of Kindness Fund. It was set up by a donor who in the past had been giving to individuals on the street, just handing out cash, and that's not considered to be charitable by the IRS. So we worked with him and many other donors since then. Anybody can give to this fund. And what this fund does is we have teamed up with 30 different nonprofits. They lift up individuals to us, and the goal is to keep them in their home, keep them safe, maybe keep the lights on, pay their rent, fix their car. They have, needs. Everybody has needs, and these nonprofits lift up that individual to the Columbus Foundation. And our goal is every day to make a grant back to the nonprofit that lifted this person up, and they in turn give this money directly to the individual in need.
Wow,
it's usually a one-time gift, but it's a wonderful way to get money directly to an individual, which we normally cannot do. So that is a very unique situation. We work closely with these nonprofits, and we have kept a lot of people in their homes. So
So
very
is there a minimum for that, or?
anything. You could give $1, you could give $5, $10. It doesn't matter because all that money is combined and then used for this purpose. So
Okay.
they're usually small grants, somewhere between $1,000 and $3,000 to the individual to help them
Mhm.
with whatever they might need. So that's a really great fund. Thank you for lifting that up, Terry. So
No
yes,
worries.
yeah. So working with the Columbus Foundation, you have a lot of options. And a lot of people know about the donor advised fund, but what they don't know is there are other things that you can be involved with. So for example, if you are alive, you are going to probably choose the donor advised fund. It's something you and your family or you and your business or you and your company could create. You name it what you want it. It could be the Lisa Jolley Fund. And when I make grants out of that fund to the charities I support, it carries my name with it. So they know exactly who gave that gift. Or if you want to remain anonymous, you can do that as well. So that's an option. A lot of people think, well, long term, what is going to be some options to change that donor advised fund into something that's going to work for us when we're no longer able to direct the foundation when to make grants. And so a lot of times people will split up their money into different types of funds. Some will be like designated funds where it can run in perpetuity, giving to a list of nonprofits that you designate that you want to support in the percentages or dollar amounts annually you want to give to them. So when you are gone, we will continue to make those gifts in your name to your favorite charities by a list. Another is field of interest. This is if you say, you know what, Columbus Foundation, I don't know what's going to happen in the community later on, but I have a real interest in basic needs. I would leave it up to the Columbus Foundation to make the decision as who's doing the best work in this area. So it's a little bit broader. We get to choose the nonprofits that fit the area that you are interested in. So that's a really great vehicle. Scholarship funds, again, this is a way to give money for the benefit of a student anywhere in the United States. It goes to the school directly, not to the students, so they're not wasted in on, their new bike or new car or something. And we run about 350 scholarships right now. So they can be based on a particular school, college, major, grade point, need, anything that the donor wants. The donor can also sit as a minority person on the selection committee and make the choices to choose their scholarship recipient. So this scholarship fund is unique from all the other funds except for supporting foundations, which we'll get to, because it starts at $50,000. What we have found is that we want the scholarship to be funded so that when the student receives the scholarship, the money is there. We can pass it to them without calling up the donor and saying, please add to your fund. And it works really well this way. And the one thing I want to point out is earlier we talked about the QCD, the RMD. When you have a gift and you make it from your RMD during your lifetime, the way this was structured is that the IRS has said that that's a great way to, hand out your money. You can give it to the charity of your choice. But if you give it to the Columbus Foundation or another community foundation or another organization to be placed in your donor advised fund, you can't do it. If you do that, then you will forego, you will have to basically pay the income on that gift first, and then you make a charitable deduction, and it is likely those will not balance out. So if you want to make a QCD gift, you will use one of these other funds, the designated, the field of interest, the scholarship funds. And that's a great way for people to give, still giving to a charity and, have a choice of what they want to support.
Yeah. And that's great that they can actually point their QCD that they're giving to something here. That's a great
Absolutely. Absolutely. So there's definitely options for people. We will definitely explore that when someone says, I have this, I want to give it. How do I do it? So the other thing they can do is over to the right on the top, it says Fund for Columbus. This is our unrestricted pot of money. So we have a competitive grant cycle that we do annually and actually at various stages for various things. So it could be startup money, it could be capacity building. And what we do is our team researches the needs of the community, and we use this unrestricted money, which does carry the donor's name still, and we make the grants to those areas that we feel have the greatest needs in the community. So it's a very competitive grant cycle. We have an application online for those nonprofits that want to be a part of it. And you know, it is unfortunately a small fund in the needs of the community, in the eyes of the community. They're like, well, you know, don't you have stacks of money sitting at your desk? No, we don't. So most of our money at the Columbus Foundation is driven by the donors' wishes. This is a unique one.
Yeah.
Finally, well, I'll say the organization endowment, that is for nonprofits, so they can work with us, build their endowment, and get some help with some structures, policies, plan giving ideas for them, and educate their board and their clients. Finally, the supporting organizations, supporting foundations. These are, we have less than 30 now. These were set up by individuals or companies where they want to have their own board making their own decisions. They want to have their own investment agents. They want to have their own attorneys. They are separate 501c3, if you will, but they're still under the Columbus Foundation's umbrella. So that means we run their meetings. We help them create all the documents that they need. And they get the benefit. So it's not a private foundation. They get the benefit of a public foundation and the charitable deduction that we can offer. So this usually starts at 5 million or above. Most of these are well above 30 million. So it doesn't mean that you can't have 30 million in your donor advised fund, but if you want more structure and other things, then we would create probably a supporting foundation. But honestly, we have many, many donor advised funds that far exceed our supporting foundations. So vehicle for everybody. So
just amazing. Yeah. And Columbus Foundation is one of the largest in the United States, isn't it?
We are, yes. And we continue to grow, but there are a lot of community foundations out west with the .coms that had some wonderful, unique gifts come through them. But honestly, I think we're still in the top 7. I believe we beat out New York Community Trust, which is something to say about how generous our community really is. So
very true.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. Yeah, that's me. If anybody has any questions, I'm always available. Even if it's not coming to the Columbus Foundation, we are a resource for you. So if you are interested to find out more about a particular nonprofit or how a nonprofit does their fundraising, please just give us a call and we'll direct that to the right person at the foundation to answer your questions. You can always email me if you have questions. I'm always happy to help in any way I can. So
that sounds great, Lisa. So there are quite a few people at the Columbus Foundation, but I mean, talking to you or somebody in your field of what you're doing as far as a director of development can help people kind of give them some direction.
Correct.
What and where and how they want to proceed with this.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the world is your oyster. You can pick and choose the charities you want to support. We do not judge, you know, whether it's a religious organization or the fuzzy creatures of West Virginia, you know, anything that you want to support, as long as it's a 501c3 charitable organization, we can get it there. So.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you, Lisa. Boy, we really appreciate you taking the time. And I know your time is very valuable right now. And to have just gotten you to give us some of this information is quite wonderful. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
All right.